But I can never figure out what car I want to drive for today, so we're gonna let the coin choose. This is gonna be the most spontaneous video you guys have seen thus far. We're gonna leave it up to a coin. Heads, ST, tails, Nismo. I think it said heads, ST, right? Oh, tails. Oh, heads, ST. What is up and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. So I'm always getting questions asking which car do I prefer, whether it's my 370Z Nismo or the Focus ST. So today I'm gonna give you guys a side-by-side comparison on which one I prefer in my opinion. So I didn't want to film this at my house because that's kind of boring, and obviously I can't have two cars in the same spot at the same time if I'm not at my house. So here we are. But I wanted to address some of the questions and some of the comments that I get in regards to both cars that I own. My 370Z Nismo and my Focus ST. Obviously the Focus ST is modified, it's bagged, it's big turbo, full bolt-ons, it's pushing around 400 horsepower. So I'm sure it's not going to come as a surprise, but this car is the cheapest one to mod and it's a more affordable car to actually buy. So to get this car around 400 horsepower as it sits, I think I spent around $8,000 to get to that point. Again, if you guys are more interested into that, I do have a video on the channel that's going over both product and cost of what I did and what I bought to get this car to that level. But if we're comparing modifications, this car is the cheapest one versus the 370Z Nismo, which is not that cheap. But if we're talking about like stock to stock and how the car comes as it sits from the factory, this car is probably the more bang for your buck interior wise. From the seats that you get inside this car to the navigation system that you get, this car actually does come with Bluetooth audio. So the benefit that this car has over the Nismo is it comes factory turbocharged. Just imagine if the Nismo came factory turbocharged. Nissan would literally be setting us up for success. But unfortunately it is naturally aspirated, which is fine because you can always add it, but it is really expensive. And that's the biggest benefit that this car has, is it comes factory turbocharged. So if you want to add the power, you can always tune it, bolt-ons, or you can add a bigger turbo like what this car has, and you're pretty much there, you're satisfied, right? I want to say the biggest downfall of this car is you can't really push that high of a horsepower as you can in most cars out there. Not most, but some cars out there. This engine taps out, I want to say at 420, 430-ish. I'm at around 400 horsepower in this car now, and every time I do a pull, I say a soft pull to prayer. Like, it's always in the back of my head that this engine is stock, this engine is stock. Like, don't go crazy with it. Like, there's times where I do have my fun, but then there's times where I'm like, all right, bro, I need to chill out. Now, we're talking just stock. Now, of course, if you build the modem in and do a bunch of crazy stuff, you can get some crazy numbers out of this engine. But just talking stock, this engine is rated for around 420, 430-ish. And like I said, even then it's pushing it. But I mean, this car is honestly, it's a blast. It's a blast. I enjoy it every single time I drive it. It is obnoxious. I built it that way and I enjoy it. But let me show you guys something that broke my heart. I have no idea what happened. Look at that curve, Rash. Oh my God, I hit something. I don't even know what I hit. Let me let the camera focus on that. Look at that. Oh my gosh, my heart is shattered. It is what it is, honestly. It was bound to happen. Just gotta live with it. Now let's get some sound clips of this car and then let's go get the Nismo and let me tell you what is better about that car, and let's compare it to this car. I was literally just here.
You need to stop. All right.
Oh, let's go. All right, now it comes time for the Nismo. This car is amazing. Like, there's nothing literally that I would change that Nissan did with this car. From the front bumper, to the wheels, to the wing, to the back bumper. This is easily one of the best manufactured cars that has ever been produced. And you cannot at me because I'm not wrong about that. So it's completely different from the ST. This car is a 2013. The ST is 2014. That car is more or less like based for the driver experience. What I mean by that is like the infotainment system. The car does come with Bluetooth. This car does not come with Bluetooth. That car has a touchscreen, it has navigation. This car does not have a touchscreen, it doesn't have a navigation. That car has power seats. It has, that car came with heated seats. This one does not have power seats. This car has heated seats, but it was added on aftermarket. So this car is more or less just like base of the base. Like, it's a base model sports car. But the thing is, that's how it comes. Like, there's no 1, 2, and 3 like the ST has. The ST has a 1, 2, 3. This one has a Nismo, and it is what it is. I will say this though, stock to stock, this car 100% takes the case over the ST. Like, just how it looks. The wheels I'm never gonna change. The front bumper looks amazing. The wing looks amazing. Back bumper looks. This car overall is just like an amazing car. And I feel like I'm being really biased, but like literally, there's nothing that I changed about this car. And the fact that the color of this car is what it is, like, it just makes it that much better. Like, look at it in the sun. So the biggest benefit of this car, in my opinion, is one, it has Synchro Rev Matching. So that means when you rev match it, the car automatically does it for you. So you don't have to sit there and basically tap the throttle and bring up the RPMs and then let go of the clutch. No, this car does it by itself on its own. All you have to do is downshift. That's one benefit it has over the ST. Another is the engine and the transmission can handle a good amount of power. So when boosting this car, so like how I told you guys, I spent about $8,000 making the ST to about 400 horsepower. If I spend about $8,000 with this car, I can get like 650 out of it. Insane, absolutely insane. And the fact that the engine can handle that, even more insane. So one of the biggest benefits that this car has over the ST2, without doing extra work, because you can add it to the ST, but you have to do extra work. Press and hold unlock, and the windows go down. Now if you stop holding it, then it stops. And then if you wanted to continue, just press and hold it, and it'll go all the way down. The biggest downfall of this car is the interior. These seats, to be exact. They took a regular 370Z Nismo, oh no, sorry, a regular 370Z seats, and they put them in this, and they put Nismo on it. So these are regular 370Z seats, but instead they put Nismo, since it is a Nismo version. Car comes with the Bose sound system. It sounds actually really good. The ST comes with the Sony sound system. It sounds trash, and my ST boys, I know you can vouch for that 1000%. I don't know what Ford was thinking, but the sound system in this car actually sounds really good. Like, literally, there are times where I drive this car just because of the sound system is that much better. Like, literally, I'm not even joking. So to end this off, if I had a choice to choose between the Nismo and the ST, if we're talking about like overall car, like both performance, feel, and look, 100% the Nismo, 100%. So let me tell you why. So aftermarket solutions, aftermarket parts, aftermarket performance, well, aftermarket parts for performance, the Nismo takes the case, because the engine, for one, can handle way more power than the ST can. Yeah, it's more expensive than the ST, but once you actually go all in and you actually purchase like what you're trying to actually achieve out of this car, it's 100% worth it. Like I said, this car overall looks way better than the ST. I own both cars, so I'm not trying to like hate on the ST or not. I still love that car, but just only in this car, driving it and actually like getting a feel for it, like 100%. Like, I don't really care about the navigation system and the screen and all that stuff, because at the end of the day, this is a performance car. Like, I'm not looking to freaking have LED lights all inside glowing and stuff like that. Like, it is outdated because it has a Bluetooth audio, but that stereo actually isn't a bad looking stereo, right? The only thing that I changed about this car, and I need to wipe this off, I don't know what that is, it's like powder or something, is the seats. The seats look terrible. They're comfortable, don't get me wrong, but they just look terrible. They're not sporty like the ST seats are. That's one of the things that's actually the selling point for me with the ST was the seats. But I mean, I just really would prefer this car, and the fact that it's a coupe, so it literally has all the vibes of a sports car. It's just, overall, it's a better car for both looks, performance, and feel. Don't get me wrong, I still love the ST. I love it with all my heart. I love driving that car. That car is an absolute monster. It's obnoxious, and it just overall feels like a raw feeling car, because that car, when you get inside of it, and I'm pretty sure Chris can vouch for it, and other people that I've given ride-alongs to can vouch for it, you hear sounds, you hear noises, you hear rattling and stuff. That car is, it's not like the quietest car on the road at all, like 100%. It's far from it. But I just, and let me stop for a minute. Let me come back with this once this car is boosted, because obviously it's going to be a whole different car once it's boosted, because then it's going to be turbocharged. It's going to have like triple the amount of horsepower that it has now. So right now, from stock to modified, I'd still choose the 370Z Nismo over the ST, because of the fact that it's capable of much more. And I know people are going to come for me because of the fact that the ST is not stock and I'm still comparing it to it. In my head, I'm picturing the ST stock and I'm picturing this car stock, and which one did I choose? But again, let me come back to this once we have the 370Z Nismo boosted, because I know it's going to be an absolute monster, and I'm here for it.
Listen, listen, listen.